Hello everyone, welcome back to the Elite Mod multiplayer. For the blue team today we have Seabreeze playing as the Tyranids, we have Fat Bastard as the Grey Knights, and Trizzen playing as the Space Marines. And for the red team we have Styx on Space Marines, Rig on Imperial Guard, and Minikid also on Space Marines. There's a lot of Space Marines going on today. On a new map here, Valhalla Oilfield. We'll see if it's good or not. Grey Knights. I've seen some good play from the Grey Knights. My faith in them is restored for this game. I thought they were kind of lackluster. But then again, that's when I was playing them, and I suck at this game, so there you go. Okay. This is kind of a bigger map. Alright, so we're going with the triangle set here of the victory points, not the straight line this time. Grey Knights feeling like they need to give their enemies an advantage, so they just decided to sit at their base for a little while. That's fine. Meanwhile, the right and left is being taken by Seabreeze and Trizzen. Grey Knights still just sitting there. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens there. Alright, so Rig is taking the first victory point for red. Never mind. Decided against it. Apparently canceled mid. Who's on the left here? Styx advancing up the left side and Minikid up the right. Minikid already up to the center requisition point. There's about to be a skirmish here, and the Grey Knights player finally got back into the game and is now pushing up mid. Attack squad against scout squad. We all know how that's when it's going to end. And we also have a flanking scout squad here. Apothecary and Force Commander going to duke it out. Nope, Apothecary deciding against it. Probably a good call. And scout squad forced to retreat. That Apothecary will not be able to stand too long against attack squad. And on the left side, the Tyranids are also pushing back the Space Marine player Styx from this left victory point. Current points, though, are in red favor, technically. But that's about to change here as the Tyranid player captures that, and the Grey Knights finally capture the blue side victory point. Stormtroopers heading off to the right side to support, it looks like. And meanwhile, in the mid, the Guardsmen are pushing up on this power node. We'll see if they are able to keep it. Scouts while taking some rec points for blue. And it looks like Minikid is in full retreat from the Force Commander, leaving all these points to be taken by the blue team. Meanwhile, in mid, we have some strike squad from the Grey Knights and Stormtroopers engaging against the Guardsman squad and Sentinel. Lord Commissar trying to get in between the strike squad, managing to do it, cutting them off from the Guardsman. That was a great move right there. And the Stormtroopers unfortunately fall down to the might of the multi-laser and Guardsman squads. Guardsman getting some distance between them and the strike squad. Strike squad going to need to get out of there pretty soon. Brother Captain coming here from the left trying to take out that Sentinel. The strike squad really needs to retreat or else they are going to be gunned down. There they go. Leaving their Brother Captain on his own to tank out multiple Guardsman squads. Commissar and Sentinel. He's going to need to retreat, and there is the retreat order. On the right side, we have these scout squads from Minikid pushing up against the attack squad from Trizzen. I don't think this is going to be in their favor. Yep, there's the retreat order. And on the left side, the Tyranid is pushing back a little bit to these attack squads and scout squads from Styx. We'll see if they can claim this, although there is a Warrior Brood ready to just pounce on those attack squads. And in mid, they are now captured. No, they're not. They're falling back to try and cut off Trizzen's scout squads and attack squad on the right side. Meanwhile, on the left, the Warrior Brood did do their pouncing, forcing the Space Marines back a little bit. Deciding to go after the scout squad, probably the best call. They are the squishiest out of that group. Termagant's shooting a little bit into the Tech Marine there. And Warrior Brood coming back to just digest that Tech Marine. God, they're just pounding him from left, right. And now he is in full withdrawal, as are the Warrior Brood. And blue team continues to hold on to 2 out of 3 points now. Bleeding tickets from the red team. Let's see, meanwhile, Trizzen's forces were flanked and forced to withdraw from the combined might of Minikid and Rig's Guardians, or Guardsman squads. Now looks like they're going to take that mid requisition point. I doubt they're going to be able to take out the power node, but we will see. On the left side, attack squads against Hormagants. Is that a Stern Guard? No, that's just an Ultramarine normal squad. Okay. The white helmets made me think maybe those are Stern Guard. I'm like, already? That's impossible. And there we go. Tyranids are pushed off, leaving the left victory point to be decapped by red. We'll see if they're able to cap it, though. They will at least be able to neutralize, and the Stormtroopers from the Grey Knights are managing to capture this power node that the blue team needs. And not much else really going on. Looks like Guardsmen are going back to heal up for now that they have a foothold on the right side. And we have some strike squads in position to advance on the right side as well, it looks like. Or maybe they'll cut up the mid, we'll see. Stormtroopers getting in position. There they go, the strike squads are on the move, heading towards the Guardsmen and the Scouts here. Strike squad bypassing the Commissar and heading for the easier to kill scout squads. Commissar, though, saying no to that and engaging that strike squad in melee with the backup of the Sentinel. Meanwhile, the second strike squad trying to get in close to the attack squads and the scout squads. And that was a very nice grenade throw by Trizzen's scout squad there. Space Marines in full retreat, not wanting to engage in melee against these polearm wielding crazy fanatical Grey Knights. Although this strike squad is forced to retreat from the Commissar and the Sentinel, but on the right side, the Minikid squads are continuing to retreat. Strike squad not giving up, and now being chased by an Apothecary and shot by some shotguns there. They're going in a little too deep, and now there is the retreat order. Brother Captain and Force Commander side by side, brothers in arms, happy to be fighting. Devastator squad up and operational, forcing the Scout Squad to retreat. Apothecary coming in, though, to try and deal with them. And the Force Commander coming in behind to try and help the Devastators and Scout Squad. On the left side, we have a massive Tyranid push with multiple Warrior Broods now coming in with the Hive Tyrants to push off the Devastator Marine Squad from Styx that had covered this left victory point. Now leaving it in the hands of the Tyranids to capture for the blue team. And on the right side, that Apothecary was a little too deep into the Blues lines and paid the price for it and is now taking a nap with these Scout Marines. No one dies in Dawn of War. They just take naps. And there they go. They are advancing on the red power node. I do not think they're going to be able to take it, though, as Guardsmen from multiple angles are now approaching, shooting these Space Marines with a bunch of flashlights, although there is a Devastator squad that will be pretty devastating to these Guardsmen squads here. While the Attack Marines tanks all these las guns, Devastator is free to just fire and rain heavy bolts of death. Oh, but the Scout Squad coming up really close and displacing the Devastators with a well-placed grenade. That was very nice. I think it was a grenade anyway. And Trizzen doing the same thing to these Guardsmen group. Oh my god, they just got totally destroyed. We have an Interceptor squad, which are kind of like the Assault Marines for the Grey Knights. They just teleport in there and wreak death and havoc upon these Guardsmen. All there, just chopping them to itty-bitty bits. Not sure who's going to win this fight yet. Looks like the Tyranids and the Space Marine on the left are kind of skirmishing a little bit. Force Commander going after the Scouts that were just raining free heavy bolt, or regular bolt of death on the Red's forces, or Blue forces, sorry. And now we are in a melee. This attack Marine is going to drop. All that's left is the Commissar to fight against multiple melee-focused units. I don't think he's going to last too long, but trying to buy time for more reinforcements to come up and protect their power node. They are fighting desperately for that power node. Tyranids units heavily suppressed by this Devastator squad. Trying to get in close. There's the charge from the Hive Tyrant, displacing those Devastators. Now the Warrior Brood are free to run up and do their little leapy attack. That's what I like to call it, the leapy attack. Devastators forced to retreat. That was a good call there. Leaving these units to be suppressed by this Stranglethorn? Barb Strangler weapon. Now here comes the Hive Tyrant and Hormigons to push them out of the left side as well. Leaving this point in the firm hands of Blue, which now controls all three victory points. The Grey Knight player with the Stormtroopers did manage to sneak up the mid and take the point away from Red. Meanwhile, on the right side, they are going to work on that power node and pushing off the enemy Scout Squad Minikids running for their lives. Brother Captain, though, taking a lot of damage. Apothecary is now back up, and now reinforcements are coming. That Brother Captain, I think, has went too deep, and it'll be... Yep. And is fallen. And kicked, and then stabbed repeatedly. He is now on the ground. Chimera coming in to flank the Stormtroopers. They have a Stormtrooper backup, but that's not going to do too much against a Sentinel and a Chimera both. And the squads inside the Chimera that are now hopping out to claim that victory point once again for Red, but on the left side, the Tyranids did push up, trying to take this resource point, but thinking about it. Maybe they'll take it. They were backed up by the Grey Knights, but we'll see what happens there. Even with that victory point, blue is still going to be leading 2-1. And red is down to 185 points. And now they do not have control of that power node either. Devastator Squad providing support from back here. Nice. Well, that grenade's not going to do much. Yeah, there we go. And now the Grey Knights are collapsing in on the mid, these multiple strike squads. We'll see where they go. Chimera and Sentinel coming out to the right side to try and push off Trizzen Space Marines. And hopefully reclaim that power node for red. We need to see a mighty push here from Styx Space Marines to try and push the Tyranids out of the left side to claim that spot for their own. And I don't know what the heck this is. Brood Nest went up. Not sure what it does. I imagine it reinforces or spawns things. It is called a Brood Nest after all. Chimera and Sentinel dropping multi-las fire into these attack squads. They are just weathering the storm because after all they are just flashlights. And the Sentinel getting dropped by the Havoc squad and multiple attack squads. There it goes. Chimera taking heavy damage, needing to get the heck out of there. There it goes. Back to get repaired, hopefully. Ooh, taking a rocket hit. Only one hit point. There it is. Brought down by most likely the plasma pistol. Meanwhile, on the left side, the Space Marines are entrenched there with the Devastator Squad, and they are going to push back the Tyranids. And hopefully capture this point for red, because they are down to only 130 points remaining. Leaving a Guardsman Squad to guard the middle. As Trizzen continues to push up the right in melee combat with a Assault Squad here, who is now running for their lives. And we have Interceptors and Swag Squads here to reinforce Trizzen Space Marines. I do not think they're going to go for the middle point. They don't need it, as they can... Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, here we go. This point did get neutralized, so now it's actually going to be 2-1 against blue. Now what they need to do is be able to actually hold on to this point for a long time to try and at least even up this game. We'll see what happens. On the right side, they did manage to resurrect the Brother Captain with the Force Commander, I'd imagine. And there goes that Force Commander charging, getting those scouts out of there. There is a Manticore there back there. Raining down death on that spot. Getting a nice hit there, but overall really not doing too much. And Trizzen is withdrawing back towards the power node. Back to the Devastator Squad that still is laying there in wait. Looks like Styx's squads are digging in, waiting for the Tyranid Horde to approach. Trying to hold on to that point. Scouts coming up to reinforce multiple scout squads. Grey Knights with a couple Stormtroopers just waiting for time to push, I imagine. Sneaky business heading off over here. Manticore. There we go. Push from Tyranids. Let's see how this does. Looks like there is a Warrior Brood trying to continually suppress these attack squads. There is a Transfer Turret doing some work, but Hive Tyrant and these Hormagaunts have gone past that, engaging in melee with attack squads and Devastator, who are now, well, actually the Devastator is way out there, already running away for his life. Scout squads trying to support that Transfer Turret. They do not have a shotgun upgrade though, so I don't think they're going to do too much against these Hormagaunts, and they are being suppressed, or at least being fired at by these Warrior Brood back here. There goes the Transfer Turret. Hive Tyrant taking it to the Tech Marine over here. Actually, the Tech Marine taking it to the Hive Tyrant currently, with that protective shield they have. Meanwhile, in the middle, the Trizzen has pushed up against the Guardsmen and taking this other victory point for blue, while the Tech Marine tanks off these two Sentinels. Very nice job there by Trizzen. And on the right side, it looks like Minikid is pushing up now that Trizzen has left this area and is going to try and reclaim the power point for red. And then on the left side, Hive Tyrant is dead. Tech Marine still alive, charging the Tyranid remaining forces with the backup of the Scout Squad. But in the back here, we do have some Termagants that managed to capture this point for blue, leaving this to 3-0 in blue's favor once again. Tech Marine just continuing to tank it and deal massive damage. Doing an awesome job here. And there we go, the Tyranids are retreating. But there is still a Zoanthrope just raining its psychic death. And the Space Marines are forced to withdraw and hopefully gather for another force. Manticore now being threatened on the right side by the Librarian now on the field. Keep pushing them off the blue point. Red ticking down away here to 55 victory points. There is a push up mid. They should be able to capture this for free, but they'll still leave them in a 2-1 in blue's favor. This push over here needs to work. They need to get past this Zoanthrope and capture this victory point if they want to stay in this game. Zoanthrope taking it to the Tech Marine, who's trying to charge, get him into melee, do some damage. There we go. And speaking about doing some damage, the Zoanthrope falls. Now they really need to neutralize that point. Guardsmen trying to neutralize this point. They need to capture, though, to make sure they do not bleed. They need at least 1 point captured. 9 points left. 8 points. They're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. Oh, it was so close, though. Oh, it's so close. Look at that 1 point. Oh, wow. Wow, that was just like a millisecond away from being captured, preventing the bleed of the last point. Oh my goodness, that was a good game. So, good game to Blue Team, Seabreeze, Fat Bastard, and Trizzen. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you all next time. Take care.